Hey, third grade. Hey, for reading today, we are going to be focusing on a certain skill. And today's skill, it says reading skill focus is inference. And you might be thinking, you might have heard this before, but I don't know how many of you have heard this before. It's kind of a newer skill, and this skill is so important when you're reading something. And what it means to infer or an inference is to make your best guess based on what you know about something. So for example, if we're going to do this page together, I'm going to do a little bit with you, and then I want you to do the rest to see if you can do it on your own. Okay, so what it means to infer or an inference, like I said, is you're making your best guess based off of what you know. So if I look here where it says observe it, I'm observing this picture, okay? And I want you to do this with me. And if you see some different details, you can also write them around here too. So this is what I see. So let's start here. I see a dirty dog. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to write dirty dog. See, this is what I observe. I'm observing a dirty dog, and I'm also observing an upset girl. So those are my main things that I'm observing. I also see some, I'm going to put this, I see some sand. Some obvious things is she's wearing a blue shirt. The dog is wearing a dog tag. If you want to write those things, you can. And the back is a little bit faded, but you might know where they are, but we will get to that in a second. So this is the observing part. This is what I can see with my eyes. I can see that he's a dirty dog and she's an upset girl. How do I know this? Because I'm inferring what I think I know about her. So what I see is her lips kind of look like, "What are you doing?" And her hand is out, almost like, "Are you kidding me?" And so I am inferring those things about this girl based off of what I see. Okay? So I wonder if you see something different. I wonder if your inferences or your best guess is different than mine. So down here, the answer it part, it says, what do you think happened to the dog? Now, when we do this, I want you to write in a complete sentence. Don't just write, "He is dirty." Okay? Or don't just write, "He is this," or "He did that." I want you to write a complete sentence, and I'll give you an example. So what do you think happened to the dog? I think, and you can copy my answer if you want. I'm going to do capital I. I think, so this is what I have so far. I think the dog rolled in muddy water. Okay, do you see how that's a complete sentence? I think the dog rolled in muddy water. See it? Okay, so that's what I think. If you think something happened differently than to the dog, I want to challenge you to write a different sentence. But if you think he rolled in muddy water like me, you can also write this sentence. So right here it says, where do you think this picture was taken? So remember, we are inferring, this word right here, we are inferring. We are making our best guess based off of what we know of the picture. So where do you think this picture was taken? And I'm going to say a complete sentence again, capital I. I think this picture was taken at the beach. If you think it was taken somewhere else, if you think this is in a different location than the beach, then I want you to write that down right here. So you could say, I think this picture was taken, and then you can write your own if you think it was somewhere different. Okay, now number 3, it says, how do you think the little girl feels about the dog's situation? See, now this is so important when we're reading because we read a lot of things like this. How do you think they feel? How do you think they'll react? And this is a really important skill for when you get older and you're an adult, because you are able to put things together easily. You're able to piece the story together. So it says, how do you think the little girl feels about the dog's situation? So I'm going to infer, making my best guess based off of her look in the picture. Now up here, I observed that she's upset. I think she's upset because of the way her mouth is positioned and the way her hand is positioned. So I am inferring that she is upset. So down here, how do you think the little girl feels about the dog's situation? And I'm going to say, I think, capital I again, I'm going to say, I think the girl feels upset. So I'm going to say, I think the girl feels upset about her dirty dog. So now you can do the same thing if you think this, or if you think something different. Maybe you're inferring something different about her. Remember, inferring means to make your best guess off of what you see. Okay, so maybe you think it's something totally different. Maybe she's saying, "Good boy, I'm so glad you're dirty." Maybe that's what you infer, but this is what I infer. I think she is upset about her dirty dog. Okay, now we're going to look over here. Hopefully my camera can focus this. I am going to do one inference with you, and then I want you to come up with the other two on your own. Okay, so it says apply it. This is how we apply it when we are reading. This is how we make inferences when we're reading. So it says, Mom heard a bark at the door. "Come, Wags," she called as she opened the door. As soon as she caught a glimpse of Wags, which I'm assuming Wags is the dog, she froze in her tracks. "Wags? Wags, what have you done?" she shouted as she closed the door without letting the dog in. She shuffled to the laundry room, grabbing 4 towels while muttering under her breath. "This is the last straw," she said. So right here, we are making 3 inferences based on the text. So we are making 3 of our best guesses based off of what we just read. So we have a mom in the story. She heard a bark. She's saying, "Coming, Wags," she called as she opened the door. As soon as she caught a glimpse of Wags, she froze in her tracks. And then she's like, "Wags, what have you done?" So if I'm making 3 inferences, I'm going to say, I think Mom is, so I'm making my best guess, my best inference about the story. So I think Mom is upset because the dog is dirty. So I'm going to write that. Now remember right here, it did not say that the dog was dirty. But this is me making my best guess. This is me inferring what I think Mom is feeling. So I think Mom is upset because the dog is dirty. So now I want you to try on number 2 and number 3. I want you to make your best guesses or your best inferring about what this story is about. Okay? I look forward to see what you have, third